The influence of Indian cuisines on its neighboring countries is profound and multifaceted, reflecting centuries of cultural exchange, trade, migration, and historical ties. The culinary traditions of India have spread and adapted across South Asia and beyond, leaving a lasting impact on the food cultures of countries such as Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and even extending to regions in Southeast Asia. This influence is evident in the shared ingredients, cooking techniques, and flavors that define the region's diverse culinary landscape. One of the most prominent ways Indian cuisine has influenced its neighbors is through the use of spices and herbs. India's rich spice heritage, with its extensive use of turmeric, cumin, coriander, cardamom, cloves, and cinnamon, has permeated the culinary practices of neighboring countries. These spices are not only used for their flavor but also for their preservative and medicinal properties. The complex spice blends and masalas that are a hallmark of Indian cooking have inspired similar approaches in Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, where spice mixtures are tailored to local tastes and ingredients. The culinary ties between India and Pakistan are particularly strong given their shared history and cultural heritage before the partition in 1947. Pakistani cuisine, especially in regions like Punjab and Sindh, closely mirrors North Indian culinary traditions. Dishes such as biryani, kebabs, and various curries are staples in both countries. The rich, aromatic flavors of Mughalai cuisine, which originated in the Indian subcontinent under the Mughal Empire, are deeply embedded in Pakistani culinary practices. Kebabs, tandoori preparations, and richly spiced gravies are common across both cuisines, highlighting their intertwined gastronomic histories. Bangladesh, once part of British India and later Pakistan, also exhibits significant culinary overlap with India. Bengali cuisine, which spans the Indian state of West Bengal and Bangladesh, showcases a shared love for fish, rice, and lentils. The use of mustard oil, panch phoron or five-spice blend, and green chilies is prevalent in both Indian, Bengali, and Bangladeshi kitchens. Traditional dishes such as hilsa fish curry, makka jol or fish stew, and various sweets like rasgulla and sandesh are enjoyed on both sides of the border. The intricate balance of sweet, spicy, and tangy flavors in Bengali cuisine reflects a culinary tradition that transcends modern political boundaries. Nepalese cuisine has also been influenced by its southern neighbor. The newer community in the Kathmandu Valley, for example, has culinary practices that show a clear Indian influence, particularly from the northern Indian states. The widespread use of lentils, rice, and vegetables, along with spices like turmeric, cumin, and coriander, reflects this connection. Popular dishes such as dal bhat or lentils and rice, momos or dumplings, and various curries demonstrate the integration of Indian culinary elements into Nepalese food traditions. Additionally, the influence of Indian sweets and snacks is evident in Nepal, with jalebi, samosas, and various mithai or sweets being commonly enjoyed. Sri Lanka's cuisine is another testament to the deep culinary exchanges between India and its neighbors. The island's strategic location along ancient trade routes facilitated the flow of spices, ingredients, and cooking techniques from India. Sri Lankan cuisine features a vibrant array of curries, sambols or condiments, and rice dishes that are reminiscent of South Indian cooking, particularly from Tamil Nadu and Kerala. The use of coconut milk, tamarind, and a variety of spices in Sri Lankan curries mirrors the culinary practices of South India. Dishes such as hoppers or a type of pancake, kotu roti or stir-fried flatbread, and fish ambal tial or sour fish curry showcase a blend of indigenous and Indian influences that have evolved over centuries. The influence of Indian cuisine extends beyond South Asia into Southeast Asia, particularly in countries with significant Indian communities. In Malaysia and Singapore, Indian culinary traditions have merged with local Malay and Chinese influences to create unique fusion cuisines. Indian Muslim communities, known as mamak, have introduced dishes such as roti kanai or flaky flatbread and nasi kandar or rice with various curries that are now integral to the local food culture. Indian spices and cooking techniques have also influenced Thai and Indonesian cuisines, where dishes like masaman curry and rendang exhibit the integration of Indian flavors. The influence of Indian cuisine on its neighboring countries is not limited to ingredients and cooking techniques, but also includes culinary customs and dining etiquette. The practice of communal eating, the use of hands for consuming food, and the emphasis on hospitality are shared cultural traits that have been propagated across the region. Festivals and religious observances, such as Diwali and Eid, often feature similar foods and sweets, further cementing the culinary bonds between India and its neighbors. The historical spread of Indian culinary practices can be traced back to ancient times when Indian traders, monks, and settlers traveled across Asia. The spread of Buddhism and Hinduism from India brought with it vegetarian culinary traditions, particularly in regions like Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia. The trade routes of the Silk Road and maritime connections facilitated the exchange of spices, ingredients, and culinary knowledge, enriching the food cultures of the entire region. Colonialism also played a role in the dissemination of Indian cuisine. The British colonial presence in India led to the introduction of Indian dishes to other parts of the British Empire, including Southeast Asia and Africa. The migration of Indian laborers and indentured workers during the colonial period further spread Indian culinary traditions to new regions, where they adapted to local ingredients and tastes. Modern globalization continues to enhance the influence of Indian cuisine. Indian restaurants, food festivals, and culinary tourism promote Indian culinary traditions worldwide. The diaspora communities maintain their culinary heritage, introducing Indian flavors to new audiences and incorporating local elements to create hybrid cuisines. This ongoing exchange ensures that the influence of Indian cuisine remains dynamic and evolving. In summary, the influence of Indian cuisine on its neighboring countries is extensive and multifaceted. The shared use of spices, similar cooking techniques, and common culinary traditions reflect centuries of cultural exchange and historical connections. From the rich, aromatic dishes of Pakistan and Bangladesh to the vibrant curries of Sri Lanka and the fusion foods of Southeast Asia, Indian culinary practices have left an indelible mark on the region's food culture. This culinary intermingling continues to evolve, driven by migration, trade, and globalization, ensuring that the flavors of India remain integral to the gastronomic landscapes of its neighbors.